Vijay, a lot of people talked about customer engagement, customer analytics and things like that. So I would like you to throw some lights, not just on customer engagement. We see consumers as one customer. I think when the workforce that we have, the employees, people who are actually doing work on the ground, they also become very important stakeholders, customers to IT solutions and things like that, right? So can you share a little bit of insights on the entire engagement with respect to consumers and workforce or the mobility systems, how that's getting evolved? While we heard about smart edge, now let's talk about that aspect of the smart metering world as well.
Thank you, Dipti. Good evening, everyone. I think it's very pertinent to start this answer by quoting Isaac Newton, wherein he said that my powers are ordinary and it's only my applications which bring me success. So, and same thing is applicable to the smart meter today. So, it has huge power, but I still believe it is ordinary unless the applications are not built with the data. And I think every one of us here on the podium agree to what this saying says. And I think Paresh raised a very valid point wherein he mentioned how different countries have different kind of challenges today. And I personally believe that, in India specifically, the utilities also have different kind of challenges today. So the state discoms today, where Saurav mentioned the kind of roadmap that we have with RDSS scheme coming up, is humongous. And if you do the maths, and rightly mentioned by Paresh that it is almost 2.3 lakh meters deployment every day, including Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays. And to have that done, it's not only about deployment, it's also about bringing in the ROI. Okay? The debt condition with the utilities today, specifically the state utilities, is 6 trillion, right? 6 trillion rupees, and this is currently in a negative spiral. And unless you don't really make the discoms Atmanirbhar, the country's Atmanirbharta is a big challenge right now. And I think the government, discoms, and the technology all came with a common agenda that smart metering is one solution which solves this problem. And I again come back to the quote that my powers are ordinary and only my success comes through my applications. So most important part here comes that you look at the discom maturity. Okay, so it's very different across the country today, and I'm sure across the world. So you can rate the scale from fragile to most matured. Okay. Now you have discoms which are very fragile. So there are different medicines to that discom to come to a little matured stage. And there are discoms which are matured today. There are different medicines to them to come to a most matured state today. And ultimately everything will come through 4 pillars of excellence here for discoms. One is of course people. Second is process. Third is technology. And fourth is network. If these 4 pillars don't really gel well with each other, what will happen is that you will give a Mercedes car, but you will not give a good road. Or you will give a Mercedes car and a road, but you will not give a good driver. So all of these things will marry each other eventually. And what will sit on them are smart digital applications. And this is where we take a lot of pride, in terms of SEW, where we come from. Today we have almost more than 1 billion customers on our platform today, and we serve 400 plus utilities across the globe today. Now, when we do that, what we do for them? What is so different, Of course, it's the basic fundamental part remains the Uber experience that the customer and the employees go through. But more than that, it comes along with solving the problem statements that come along with it. So let me share with you what we are doing in the country today. So we are working with state discoms currently to have a loss reduction dashboard, which in terms of, starting from, right from the energy accounting to the distribution transformer overloading unbalancing, going down to the meter fraud detection and analytics with the AI/ML tools that we have, and lastly, the customer engagement side of it. So this is on more on the analytics side of it. The second is the workforce mobility. Now, workforce mobility, we can imagine, if suppose, say for example, I have to start with my energy accounting process, right? and I identify that out of, say, these 500 DTs, distribution transformers, these 10 are bad, and I need to work on them. What is supposed to be done next? My field crew has to go on site and do the survey and catch all the NCs, non-conformities. And how do they do that? Today, if they do it in pen and paper, the whole essence is lost. So you need to have applications for your workforce mobility so that when they go on field, everything is captured, everything is documented, everything is standard to a degree that these are all captured at one place. And eventually, your analytics, which is at the back brain, everyone can't go at the site, right? In a DISCOM, there are 10,000 people working in a 700 square kilometer area. Not all can go to the field. So you have a back team who analyzes the whole challenges that are there with the data. And accordingly, the work order preparation and the job preparation, the inventory management happens parallelly. And the job distribution happens based on those priority distribution transformers. So this is a workforce mobility application. Paresh also quoted Mr. Bansal. I think he was referring to Mr. Bansal. So I worked with him. So this is a very common problem in Delhi today. The another workforce mobility application is, so the customer MCB trips. So now with smart meter, you have a meter ping functionality. So we have also deployed this at one of our customer, which is Tata Power. What it does is that when a customer goes and raises a no current complaint, before he can submit his complaint, the system will check whether the meter is able to ping. And if it is able to ping, it will tell him that please check your MCB. So these are very, very small, but very, very impactful things that come. And eventually with all of these things, we're going to have a very, very deeply engaged customer, Dipti. And more than that, I feel sometimes very bad that we as a utility, we look at customers only as a cost center, as employees also as a cost center. But how do we really leverage this huge customer base in terms of cross-selling and upselling many other things that we can do? So, for example, Tata Power today has a complete one SEW platform where they are selling their rooftop solutions to the same customer base. They're selling their EV charging applications to the same customer base. And they are selling their home automation services to the same customer base. While I believe most DISCOMs may not have this build-up ready, but they can even start with reactive power management solutions and so many, energy audit solutions and so many. So I think to sum it all, I think the crux really lies in terms of making our applications smart and the applications to bring in the success and not the power alone. Thank you.
Thanks, Vijay. No, I think that was very powerful what you said. And as you're talking, what just struck me is that probably, our children today will not know what it really meant to have those landline phones at home and standing in queues to pay the bills and get those phones installed and many months of waiting time that used to be there, right? Or if you look at financial world, I don't know,